Welcome back to Dummy Boy Finance. I'm Dummy Boy, and in this video I want to go over WorkHorse stock because we had a beautiful day today and I can't wait to talk about what happened today. So we're looking at WorkHorse right now on the daily time frame. We were up 8.65%. And we were in this little pennant flag right here that we actually broke out of today with extremely nice volume. And so anytime you break out of a pattern, you want to get the volume as confirmation. And if you look at our bar down here, you can see that we had very strong buying volume coming in here. And so we got to close today above our 100-day SMA. We're well above our 50 SMA. It looks like we have put a bottom in here on WorkHorse. And now we are starting to get to these levels where I do think the jumps will start to get larger as time passes on, as more and more people accumulate this stock, buy, and not sell their position. This stock is inevitably going to go up because hedge funds are going to have to cover their position. The game is very simple. Having the access to know the short interest on this stock is the most valuable information that you could get on the stock. I could care less about what is going on with this company behind the scenes fundamentally, because right now this is not a fundamental issue that we care about here in WorkHorse. This is more so a game that we are playing now in terms of the hedge funds versus the retail investors, similar to what we saw with GameStop, similar to what we've seen with AMC. However, with that being said though, AMC and GameStop are a little bit different because those are aging businesses, whereas WorkHorse actually has a pretty bright future ahead of itself, considering that it actually has a real product. And so although they lost out on a crucial contract that would have helped them significantly, that doesn't mean that that's going to be the only contract that comes up. Remember that as time passes, governments are going to have more and more incentives to have either government vehicles be hybrid or electric because they need to reduce their carbon footprint. And also remember, yes, the boomers of our era really don't care too much of global warming, but as time passes on, the generations that have been built up and brought up on changes in the environment are eventually going to take office, and those people are going to run the numbers of whatever country you live in. And when that happens, you're going to start to see acceleration in renewable energy sources of fuel. And so if we're looking at a WorkHorse that is still very new in this renewable energy, this green EV time, you have to be patient with this stock. But I'm not here for the fundamental analysis on WorkHorse. I'm sure that there are plenty of people out on the internet that have enough due diligence done here on WorkHorse, and so you guys can refer to them. But I am here to make the money on this stock because I know what's going on behind the scenes, and what's going on is there are a ton of people trying to short this bad boy. And so as long as people don't sell, this stock is going to burn those people and should make you a lot of money. And so if we're looking at our charts right here, the MACD had a very strong bounce today off of our signal line. This could have been a double bottom right here on our MACD. Absolutely stunning price action right here. The fact that we got this leads me to believe that we will have some strong price action the next couple days. If this is a signal of a breakout, then tomorrow should be a green day because this was a very healthy breakout from this pattern. And so I mentioned before that we were going to see a move in WorkHorse in the next couple trading sessions. We got the movement today, and I expect WorkHorse to build on this movement. At the very least, I do think WorkHorse can get up to this red line, which is indicative of our 200-day SMA. We will see some resistance at this point, and I do believe at this point people may be willing to take some profits, and I can't stop people from doing so, but that is just what I believe is going to happen. And so if I look at the accumulation over distribution on our chart, you can see that we are starting to build some accumulation right here. The last couple trading sessions, people have been buyers. Another thing that I want to show you guys right here, so I'm on TradingView, and in TradingView you're only allowed to use 3 indicators, otherwise you have to buy the premium service, and obviously I am not going to be buying the premium service. So I have a lot of my favorite indicators just kind of saved and bookmarked right here. So I'm going to show you guys this super trend analysis essentially gives you real life buy and sell signals on a stock. So you could see you buy here, at this point you sell, and then it just gives you all these notifications. And so right here it gave us a buy signal on our super trend, and you can see right now we are still in a buy zone. There is still no sign to sell just yet, and so that indicator is letting us know that we are in a buy signal. The next indicator I want to show you guys on WorkHorse is our Bollinger Bands, and so you can see today we actually got rejected by our Bollinger Bands. Essentially what you need to know about this indicator is the price action will always remain within our 3 bands, and so usually this right here in the middle is our median band. When you are below this point you are bearish, while you are above this point you should expect the price action to hover within the top and the middle band. So right now when we're looking at WorkHorse today, we actually got our price all the way up to the top of our Bollinger, but you can see now we are starting to narrow out a bit. So we don't have this large gap between our bands. We are starting to tighten up a little bit, and anytime you tighten up you usually lead to a move either up or down. And so when I'm looking at the price action right now and I'm looking at our MACD, we're looking like a pretty nice setup right here on WorkHorse. The next indicator that I want to go over right now is our 10-day SMA. So this line right here that I'm tracking with my mouse is our 10-day SMA. This is more of a short-term indicator for traders who are trying to make a quicker profit. Usually when you get a break above the 10-day like we got right here, this would be a buy signal. You wait it out, boom, you run up. When you get the next back test, you buy in again. So if we look at what happened here, we actually broke down for a bit. We came back up right here. We didn't really get a back test per se right here, but it was as close as we were going to get. You could see we roared right back up, and it does look like our 10-day is going to continue to go up. I would love to see our 10-day cross right here on our 200. And so because we had very nice volume coming in today, I'm going to be very excited to see what happens here with the price action tomorrow, because usually when this happens we should have another strong green day. However, if the price action is red tomorrow, what you want to focus on is the volume. If the volume is less than what we saw today and is similar to these volumes that we've seen in the past week, then there should be no concern in WorkHorse, because that is going to lead to manipulation to bring the price down. Because again, there are a lot of option contracts that expire at various points in time, and so hedge funds need the prices to be at certain levels so they can minimize their losses. So you don't want to be afraid when you see the price go down drastically if the volume is slight. If you see the volume higher than what we saw today and the price action go down, then it may look a little bit scarier because we may see a larger drop in the shorter term. However, you always want to pay attention to the volume when you are looking at moves either up or down. And last but not least, I want to talk about our RSI. So our RSI still has some room to run here. We have a 65, which lets me believe that we could still go up as high as a even 80, 85 RSI. That would mean we are overbought. But when I look at the history of the stock, we were under a 50 RSI for a very long time. Matter of fact, we were under a 27 RSI since February all the way down to May, June. So we were down for about 4 or 5 months at extremely oversold RSI. So I do think that we are going to be at elevated levels on our RSI for a short period of time that could last a month or two. And so I expect WorkHorse to have a pretty nice run. You can see the volume these last couple weeks has been very nice. I also want to pull this out here to our weekly time frame just to get a better look at what we've been seeing recently. So you can see when we were bottoming out right here, we had slight volume, we had a huge surge right here, we had a little bit of selling in this week, but then you can see we carried on. So we've had a lot of green volume coming in since the bottom at this point. And so remember, a lot of this could have been hedge funds covering their position, but regardless, if they're covering, that means they're buying the shares up, which means that the price is going to go up. And so overall, be prepared here for WorkHorse to get some major swings in price action. In my opinion, the squeeze has not even started yet. So once we start to see a huge surge up in price, the volatility on this stock could get crazy. I still believe that we have a nice gap to fill here at around $31, which you can see right here is a pretty fat gap. And so if we can get our price action back to this point, we may start to see the short selling pick up even more. But since we broke out of this little bull flag right here, it does look pretty nice here on WorkHorse. So I'm excited to see what happens tomorrow. If you guys enjoyed this quick little update video, don't forget to like. We are on the road to 10K subs, so if you made it to this point, feel free to hit that subscription button. This is Dummy Boy Finance. I'm Dummy Boy, and I'll see you guys in the next one.